These two jars contain peppers, fermented peppers actually. They've been fermenting for exactly 6 weeks. The peppers in the two jars are actually exactly the same by weight. So you can see there's Trinidad scorpions, some red bell peppers, aji ricos, dragon shishitos, cayennes, and lemon drops. Each jar has the same amount of each one of those peppers. So they're identical pepper-wise. And they also both were made with the same 3% salt brine, and they both fermented for 6 weeks in exactly the same space. Well, you know what I mean. The only difference is the flavoring. So this one has green onion, mustard seeds, and cumin. This one has lemongrass, lemon zest, and ginger. So really the only difference in flavor should be those flavorings that we added that were different between the two. And all of the peppers were either grown in our garden this year or given to us by friends who use pepper plants that I started for them, with the exception of the red bell peppers. There's just a little bit of that in there. Hey, Hammer. And it's in there because on the day I was mixing these up, I just had extra red bell pepper, and I didn't want to waste it, so threw it in just to bulk it up a little bit. So I'm going to blend one of these today. Because I only have I only have one set of like one blender and one food mill, and I don't want to cross-contaminate with flavors. So I'll wait and I'll blend the other one tomorrow after I've had a chance to clean all that stuff. I just opened the jar that's seasoned with the green onion, mustard seed, and cumin. It smells terrific. I've got no mold, no yeast, perfectly healthy ferment. And I should mention that I pH tested one of the two jars 10 days ago, and it was at pH 3.8. So really good. Give it a little bit longer to hopefully drop down a couple more points. So I'd imagine we're close to 3.5. So now I'm just going to put the strainer lid on here, and I'm going to pour off the brine, and then we'll get to blending. This is a quart jar, and it's just over half full now. So we probably have about 2.5 cups of fermented peppers and spices. And look, we got a pint of brine. That is all brine. So we're going to blend this, and then we'll spike back in some brine to get the consistency right before we food mill it and then bottle it. Oftentimes, the peppers won't really blend at all until you add some of the brine. I guess these were small enough that I actually did get some blending done here. But you can see it's still pretty thick. So I'm going to try to blend this some more, and then I'm going to spike in some brine, like a few tablespoons at a time, until it looks like the consistency I want, and then I'll let you know how many total I added. Okay, here's my blended pepper mash, brine. I added 1.5 ounces of the brine back to it while I was in the blender, which is 1/4 cup. Now I've got the food mill, and I've got it on the finest mesh size, and I'm going to process this to get the solids out, and then we'll check the consistency and maybe add a little bit more brine. We'll have to see how it goes. Okay, I'm done milling, and just a reminder, when you use the food mill, scrape the bottom of it, because a lot of stuff gets stuck there that is really good, several tablespoons that you want to save. I added another ounce of liquid to this after milling it. So in total, that was 5 ounces of brine added back. 5 tablespoons of brine, 2.5 ounces. And you can see we got this nice orange color, pretty good texture, like no chunks, because the food mill takes care of that. Nice bright sheen, and it's loose because of the addition of the brine, but it's not runny, and that's kind of how I like it. So now all that's left to do is to bottle this and then give it a try. This probably goes without saying, but using a funnel is a good idea. I've just got 5-ounce bottles from Amazon, a funnel, and I like to scoop it in to keep things clean. And we'll fill up the first one, and then we'll move on and just keep going until we've got it all bottled. It's a little tough to tell, but I've got, this is a half full bottle, and then I've got 2 full bottles of my sauce here. I'll get some labels on these after I'm done cleaning up, but for now, it's time to taste this. I've never done this live before, so hope this goes okay. Here goes nothing. Okay, it's got a nice heat. It's not super hot, which is good because I don't want super hot. The green onion flavor comes through. I think it's a lot nicer than just like a normal white onion or yellow onion because it's much more fresh and not as harsh. And then the addition of like the mustard seeds and cumin, you get the cumin for sure. But they kind of add like almost a ketchup-y savory quality. It's hard to pick out on its own if you don't know that it's in there, like the cumin flavor and the mustard seed flavor, but together they add just this really nice savory flavor. So really happy with this one, and tomorrow I'll mix up the next one, get that bottled, and we'll try that as well. Not that it matters, but I know I said I was going to do the second batch of sauce tomorrow, but I did it on the same day. So this is the one that has lemongrass, lemon zest, and ginger, but all the same peppers as the first one. And interestingly, it is definitely less viscous than the first one, more runny, even though I added exactly the same amount of brine back. So can't explain that, whatever. Let's give it a little taste here. Let's see how it turned out. It's very different. Not nearly as savory. Sort of not as full of flavor. I get some citrus, but it's mostly pepper flavor. A little bit of the perfume of the lemongrass, not very strong. It's good. It's a good sauce. The heat level is good, but I definitely like the first one better. So it was an interesting experiment, and we'll see what we come up with next year for the garden peppers. But that's it for now. I'll bottle this up, and that'll be it for this year. Thank you for watching.